Thank you very much. Great studio audience here. And let me tell you, welcome to Huckabee from the Fox News studios in New York City. Hey, this weekend marks our show having been on Fox News for 5 years. That's right. And we want to say thanks to you, all of you who have been loyal viewers. Our show has been the most watched cable show in all of cable news. Most weekends, more people watch this show than all other cable news shows combined during our time slot. And as we get ready to start our 6th year, we thank you. Oh, and even if the government shuts down, we don't plan to anytime soon. And speaking of a government shutdown, if Congress can't agree on a budget by the end of the month, here's a word of counsel to my fellow Republicans. Why would you rescue the Democrats from their determined self-destruction? The Democrats in Congress and President Obama, they own Obamacare, completely and totally. Not one Republican in the House or Senate voted for it. They've repeatedly tried to repeal it. They've tried to replace it and get rid of it. But every time they get blocked by Harry the Hen Reid, who sits on legislation like a hen would sit on an egg, except the hen wants to hatch the eggs. Harry just wants to make sure the Senate continues to transition from the world's greatest deliberative body to the world's most dysfunctional body. I completely appreciate the efforts by many in the Senate and House to protect our nation from the disaster of Obamacare. It's already driving costs up, costing Americans their jobs and their health coverage. And as even the labor unions have realized all too late, it's poised to potentially destroy a 40-hour work week and full-time employment. But the plan to tie a defunding of Obamacare in the House to passage of the budget, well, it might sound bold and daring, but it only serves to give Democrats cover from having to defend this monstrosity on an American public who doesn't want it and who will suffer because of it. Now, if it were mathematically possible for the defunding plan to succeed, then damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead. But here's the math. Passage in the House this week required almost every Republican House member to vote yes. In the Senate, however, that would require 60 votes. The Republicans have 46. They need 14 Democrats to come on board. Not likely, but even if they could get the 60 votes, they still don't win, because the bill would most certainly be vetoed by President Obama. That's one of the few promises that he's made that he would actually keep. And if he vetoed the bill, then it would take 67 votes in the Senate to override that veto. Now, the Republicans would have to have 21 Democrats in the Senate to join them and thumb their nose at their own party and president. Folks, it's more likely that I'm going to appear in Miley Cyrus's next music video than for that to happen. Sounds like our audience might think that would be great. All right, on the other hand, as Obamacare grinds more Americans to the dirt of joblessness and poverty, the Republicans have a clear and defining message to take into the 2014 elections, where they could be in a very strong position to take control of the Senate and prepare to reclaim the White House in 2016. But one way to kill that is to change the subject from Obamacare's impact to the effects of a government shutdown. It's winning the immediate battle at the expense of the ultimate battle. And if Republicans just want to fight, well, take on the president for wanting to borrow more money and plunge us deeper into debt. I mean, after all, in 2006, he said doing that was irresponsible and unpatriotic. If it was, then it still is. And if he says it isn't now, then ask him which time he was lying to us, because it's hard to start a fire and not smell like smoke. The president and the Democrats lit the match of Obamacare, so let them defend it. Why hand them a hose when they're determined to play with gasoline and burn their own house down? No need to burn ours down, too.